Hello and welcome to Fit News. I am your host, Jen Shaver, and today I am chatting with the one and only Dionne Davis. She is a coach with nearly a decade of experience in the fitness industry. Overcoming stress and unhealthy eating habits has allowed Dionne to assist others on their health journey, emphasizing the importance of vulnerability. As a personal trainer and a group coach, she specializes in weightlifting techniques for muscle tone and definition, kettlebell training for coordination and strength endurance, and posture optimization for flexibility and injury prevention. With a focus on women facing hormonal imbalances, weight loss struggles, hair loss, and emotional connections to food, her mission is to help them build confidence, strength, and flexibility through tailored health plans. Classes that she loves teaching are Urban Kick, Kettlebell Flow, Animal Flow, Boot Camp, and Lightweight Circuit Training. Inspired by the increasing number of women seeking assistance, she's created a customizable health and fitness plan that caters to their unique needs and desires. Now managing her own brand for over a year, she's excited about this opportunity and eager to see what the future holds. Dionne, we're so excited to have you on Fit News today, and I can't wait to chat with you more about what you do. But before we get to that, let's kind of get your backstory. How did this all start? Where did this come from?
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for having me, Jen. I
Yeah,
really appreciate it. It's wonderful to do these podcasts and,
yeah,
be able to share what I do and my story and all
right.
the things. So this all started, I guess, like when I was a kid. I started off. I've always been a mover and a shaker, so to speak. Yeah, and I just really enjoyed just athletic type movements
Mhm.
as a kid. It just was something that was, it was always in me. My
Right.
father is an athlete. He was actually he was so good that he actually tried out for the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So he was like he's from Virginia, so
Mhm.
that's something that he grew up with, and he actually brought that onto me and my sisters. Me
Mhm.
and my sister, my older sister ran track. My
Okay.
younger sister is more of a, she's more of an actress.
We're all different, right?
We're totally different. But I just really enjoyed movement. I really feel like I've gotten that from my
Mhm.
father for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And so how has that helped you in handling um, life's ups and downs and aging?
Yeah. So it, I struggled, with, I guess, sometimes with my looks back when I was in high school.
Mhm.
Um, I definitely I struggled. I could just like it was yesterday. Middle school is where it really started.
Mhm.
A lot of things change in middle school. A lot happens. Your body changes and everything. But I really struggled with just I just wanted to be a certain way and look a certain way and feel a certain way,
Right.
and. I had a really bad sugar addiction. I was
Mhm.
really very highly addicted to sugar. Even when I was a kid, I remember, being very highly addicted.
Mhm.
And when I got to middle school, like you're older, you can make a little more choices.
Right.
And back then, you could buy whatever you wanted, even at school, candy and all the things.
Right.
And it really took a toll on me. And so fast forward when I got old enough to realize, okay, this is affecting me.
Right.
um, I made sure that I changed my lifestyle. I changed my eating habits. This is even before I got into training.
Mhm.
I felt like, okay, this my focus was off the rails,
Yeah.
and my hair was falling out, and I knew that's what the reason was. It was I wasn't taking very good care of myself,
Mhm.
and so I try to incorporate that with my clients, tell them and show them that I've been there. I've
Mhm.
I've been there since I was a young kid, and all through trial and error with myself. I know the things but everybody's different. Things that work for me might not work for someone else. I think the main thing is what I try to teach my clients and people that I come across is you listen to your body and do what your body tells you to do. If it makes you feel good, I'll do it. If it makes you feel like crap, you maybe want to take a look at why you're feeling that way.
Right. Right. And I really love that you mentioned two things there. Number one, listen to your body, right? Because we know our own bodies best, right?
Yeah.
So just because what works for your neighbor Susie, right, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be best or work for you. I also like that you acknowledge, that there are differences, in, what's going to work for each of us.
Absolutely.
And you're
Yeah.
not just saying it has to be this way or it's not right.
No, I used to be that way.
Yeah. We're all older and wiser, aren't we? I mean,
But
that's
unfortunately it doesn't work. No, like everybody has to find their way, and my goal is to help you find your path and what works for you, because it's hard to give up a lot of the things that we eat on a normal basis or do on a normal basis. So I really, I just focus on, okay, let's do one thing at a time. Let's do one thing at a time. Let's get a good grip on that. And
Mhm.
then we'll move on to the next thing later.
Right.
Just being bombarded with so much,
Mhm.
it's stressful. It's very stressful, and I want to make it as stress free as possible for
Right.
each person.
Right. Right. And that's such a good point that, we do have to, and that's often the part that most people struggle with, right? Is starting with those small steps because they often feel like, well, what's this gonna do, right?
Yeah.
But if
Yes.
we can get them to understand that it's those small steps that create this strong foundation, then that's where the success down the road comes in.
I totally agree, 100%. I know there was a period when I first, got into the industry, and it was all about, changing everything within, 6 to 12 weeks. And
Right.
it was good. I fell in love with it,
Mm-hmm.
but unfortunately it didn't work because a lot of people they still have those habits that they hadn't kicked. So
Right.
a lot of people can change things within 6 weeks. They can stop and change a lot. But
Uh-huh.
then when you deprive yourself of certain things all
Mm-hmm.
at once, then you're like, at the end of your program, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go splurge and do this and that. And then all of a sudden, all that hard work that you just put in is gone.
Right.
Not
Right.
totally, but
No,
you
no, but so often what they're only thinking about is when this program is done, I'm going to go do this, this, and this, right? I mean,
yeah.
all they're
Yes.
thinking about is the stuff that they restricted. And
Hmm.
when that finish line hits, I can go and do the things that I just restricted.
Yes. Yeah.
Which,
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean,
yeah.
that's kind of how our brains, work. We go to things that satisfy us and
Hmm.
make us feel good. And even though there's some like sugary foods that might make you feel bad, but it tastes good in the moment, and
Hmm.
it really does relieve some stress,
Right.
that we deal with on sometimes a daily basis.
Right. Right. And so often that is, part of finding and recognizing your relationship with food and what's causing you actually to turn to those
Yes,
foods.
yes, yeah, definitely. And that's, it's definitely a deeper issue.
Hmm.
It's hard for even the professional to even pinpoint those things.
Right.
It's something that, you can look at, you can write it down, sometimes take a walk. And a lot of times I like to take walks and just kind
Yeah.
of air out sometimes, get my thoughts together. That usually helps a
Right.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I know that you mentioned that you work with women facing the hormonal imbalances, weight loss struggles, hair loss, and emotional connections to food. How do you help those women?
Yes. So usually, so when a person signs up with me through
Hmm.
through training, I go through in kind of an evaluation of what they do
Yeah.
on a daily basis, and it
Mhm.
really depends on the age of the woman. If usually they start experiencing changes between 40, and
Right.
plus and on. And so what I help my clients, work with or even look at is, okay, what are these changes that you're experiencing. And sometimes it's food related, sometimes it's joints, muscle, bone, things that they're like, oh my God, like things have changed. So I
Mm-hmm.
help them to be able to still maintain their strength or start off at a certain point and build strength while
Right.
also like paying attention to some of the things that they're eating so that they could age gracefully and
Right.
feel their best.
Yeah. I also like that you pay special attention to posture optimization, for flexibility, because that is definitely an issue that many midlife women are starting to face, especially now that a lot of people are spending a lot more time behind their desks, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
seated. And we all know that posture becomes a big problem then. So,
Posture is so huge. And there's a lot of like now, it was all about, kind of beating yourself up and, doing all these different moves and weight loss. But now it's like people are finding themselves, they don't want to be in pain anymore.
right.
They don't want, yes, they want to look good, but they're tired of their hips hurting. They're tired of their
Mm-hmm.
knees hurting. And you can't do those types of movements when you're in pain,
Right.
so you've got to, get down to what's going on, what the cause is, and, help and try to alleviate some of those pains or, help them to fix
Mm-hmm.
it. And so that they can get back into a really sustainable program,
Right.
without pain or minimal pain.
Right. Right. And, and like you said, for injury prevention down the road as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think one of the sayings that actually did the most disservice for fitness was the no pain, no gain.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
don't feel like your workout has to create pain. In fact, if you're in pain, maybe
Yeah.
something is wrong, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. We have to
and
deal with that for a year,
yeah,
for a long time.
yeah.
Long time.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that your workout shouldn't be challenging. I don't, I know we both advocate for, working hard, but not.
Not to the point where you'll be in pain for years. You're gonna pay
Right.
for it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so, now tell me a little bit more about some of the classes that you teach. I know, you mentioned that you do urban kick and kettlebell
Yeah.
flow and animal flow and boot camp, and tell me a little bit more about all those. Those all sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm all over the boards. I love teaching. I really enjoy it. I just love the energy. I feed off of the members when I teach, like their
Yeah.
energy. It's just so much fun. But I actually I love urban kick because it's cardio kickboxing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more of just you're doing basic like punches and kicks,
Right.
but you're kind of making it all flow together. So it's not like your traditional boxing.
Yeah.
It's more of like like more of a fun type of kickboxing and
Yeah.
something that you could more like a dancey type thing that you
Yeah.
can incorporate with your students. So
Yeah.
that's so much fun. I love it.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so important is it's important that our fitness and our movement be fun.
Yes.
And, because if it's something fun, we're not going to skip it.
I
Nobody
know.
wants to skip anything that's fun, right?
You want
So,
to go to something fun, like that's
yeah.
we're so serious throughout our day. We want at least an hour, where we don't have to think so much. We
Right.
could just enjoy like the time with other people, with the instructor, have us like get out of our heads for a little bit and just like give it your all, for
Yeah.
that hour,
Right.
or however long you're training for. But
Yeah.
I love urban kick. I've been getting a lot more into kettlebell
Okay.
work. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
kettlebell flow. I'm not teaching kettlebell classes, but I really wanted to get that going. I wanted to incorporate that into my training. It's
Mm-hmm.
so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing about the kettlebell trainings, all you need is just one kettlebell.
Right.
And you can do so much with it. And it doesn't even have to be, I do the kettlebell juggling. I've been practicing that.
Oh, wow.
You're actually flipping a bell. Now you don't have to do that.
Oh.
But just learning how to move the kettlebell in certain ways and different planes of motion,
Mm-hmm.
it is so much fun and you get such a great workout. And the best thing I love about that is it doesn't put a lot of pressure on your joints.
Mm-hmm.
Like finding like kettlebell work, like I'm not in pain when I do it. Like sometimes when, I'm a lifter. I'm a full-fledged lifter.
Yeah.
But I just turned 41, and there's certain things that I'm trying to avoid now, is like the squatting so much, because my knees are starting to hurt, even
Yeah.
just basic body weight squats. It's really starting to hurt, because
Hmm.
like, again, like I've been a lifelong athlete, so
Yeah.
it's starting to take a toll on me.
But keeping
But
that movement up, as you
yeah.
said, is important. And it's
Oh my.
nice that you're able to do it with the kettlebell because, and as you mentioned, in different planes of motion, because as we know, life does not happen in just one plane of motion, right? It's not
That's
just
right.
forward and backwards. So
Yes.
we have to prepare our body to remain strong in all of those planes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's such a great thing about the kettlebell work. Even though I do a lot of bodybuilding, but
Yeah.
it's in just one plane. You're
Right.
like, you're just forward and back. But with the
Mhm.
kettlebell, you can move to the side, you can, move up and down. And I love incorporating that into my routine. It's just
Yeah.
so great. And I want others to learn it too.
Right. Right. Yeah. And because it doesn't have to be complicated,
No,
and
not
like
at
you
all.
said, it's
Not
one kettlebell, right? So even
Yes.
if you just have one kettlebell, there's so much that you can do with just
Oh,
that. Yeah.
it's so great. It's so great. It's one of the best tools out there right now, that I believe,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Now, when you're working with your clients, are you one-on-one, or is it a group program, or how does your program work?
I'm right now, I'm one-on-one.
Hmm.
So with my virtual and my in-person clients,
Yeah.
it's just one person. I would actually love to train more than one. There are
Hmm.
some cases where I'll train two people at one
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
The gym space that I'm at, and that I was at before, the space is kind of small, and then you're sharing the space with other trainers.
Hmm.
So it's hard to do group training in a
Yeah.
personal training type gym.
Hmm.
So but like in a bigger, gym, or like if you're teaching a class, you can do more than one person. You can do a whole group. But with
Hmm.
a personal training studio, it's just, one or two people at the most.
Hmm.
It's hard to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. But you also do offer virtual?
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I offer virtual training as
Yeah.
well. So, which is great. I never would have thought I would like virtual
Yeah.
training, but we started, me and my ex-business partner, we started it during the pandemic. And prior to the pandemic, we wanted to do it for so long. We didn't know it
Uh-huh.
was going to be like a live virtual thing,
Yeah.
because I don't think Zoom was really a big thing back then.
Right.
I think
No.
it just like kind of skyrocketed all of a sudden because of the pandemic, and that's how we were able to communicate.
Yeah.
But we were talking about doing like a whole virtual program, it's like a pre-recorded program.
Right.
We just never could do it because our program was getting big, like we were starting to get a lot more people. It was just hard to just get together, and
Right.
then the pandemic forced us to do it,
Yeah.
which and
There's a lot it forced us to do, right?
I know. Oh my God.
Good
Oh,
and
it kicked
bad,
us in the butt.
it,
I know. I know. But I'm so glad. I'm so thankful. Thank God for the pandemic, because
yeah.
even though, I know a lot happened
No.
and people
Right.
got sick,
We have to
but
look at the positives that came
we
out
have
of
to
it.
look at the
Yeah.
positive. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm so glad that we were able to branch our, no, this is for me. I'm by myself now. I'm no
Right.
longer with my partner, but we were
Hmm.
able to branch our virtual program,
Hmm.
which was,
Yeah. Yeah. Now, tell me, could you maybe share with us a success story from one of your clients?
yes, yes. So, okay. So this is from my client, uh, back, I'm going to say before the pandemic. This is when I really first started my business. I was under another name, but
Mhm.
this is when I first kind of started. Her name was Charmian. So Charmian, she stands out to me because she didn't have a fitness background at all. She was like one of our very first challengers that we had when I started my business.
Mhm.
And because there was only a few, like we just like, okay, let's turn this into something.
Yeah.
And she saw me on Facebook. She saw our ad on Facebook, so she found us, and we trained her. And she didn't like have a lot of experience. She was the type of girl that didn't like PE. She was like, she's one of those,
Right.
smart,
Mhm.
really smart women. She's like, I think she's like in the science field. But you know, she kicked butt when
Yeah.
she was in the program. she like made a huge transformation. Like I was so impressed with just her overall physique and
Hmm.
just all the things that she changed. It was like a different person.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she like really
I
stood out. And
would,
then on top of, oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I would imagine that her demeanor changed too, as in
Yes,
she became
yeah.
more confident. She felt more empowered.
Yes, she did. She looked great. She felt, you can tell she felt great.
Yeah.
She looked comfortable in her own
Hmm.
skin, you know. So yeah, like it was, she's definitely kind of the star
Hmm.
student that really stands out.
Yeah.
From all the years I've been training, and I've trained a lot of
Hmm.
people throughout the years, but she stands out a lot because she just, you know, she didn't like movement as
Right.
a kid, you know, growing up.
Hmm.
And for her to just accomplish that and get through and actually make a transformation, a huge transformation, was, that was great, remarkable.
Right. Right. And I guess, and that goes to show that you don't have to, you know, be a professional athlete to start strength training, right?
No, you don't. No, you need to find something that you like.
Right.
It does, and there's some people that don't like strength training at
Right.
all. They don't, even though it's great for you because, you
Hmm.
know, helps to develop your muscles and keep them
Hmm.
strong, especially, you know, our bones and our bodies
Hmm.
wear. But I tell people, find something that you like. There's so many different things out
Hmm.
there. You don't have to just do strength. You know, if
Right.
you don't like weightlifting, you don't have to do it. Just find
Right.
something that you like. Find boxing. A lot of people love boxing,
Right.
Pilates, yoga. Like, do something as long as you move. That's the most important thing.
Right. Right. Yeah, definitely get that movement in. But ladies, if you're over 40, try and pick up some weights twice a week.
Thank you. Thank you. I know we don't
Just
want
a
to
little
force
plug
it,
there. I
but it
mean,
is
I mean,
important.
I know I get a lot of ladies. I don't like to lift weights. Well, I don't like doing laundry, but I still do it.
That's a good
So,
point. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
only 2 days a week. You got six others to, or, you have, sorry, my math is wrong. You got four, five others to go do whatever it is you do like, right? But no, I
Yeah.
see exactly what you're saying. It the most important thing is, if you're not doing anything now, start with, what do you enjoy the most, right?
Yes, do something you like first, and
Yeah,
then it's
yeah,
like you'd be surprised. Like, so many things change once you start moving and
right,
making it a habit. You're like, okay, what else can I do next? I know, I'm sure you've gone
right,
through it. Like, well, what can I
right,
do next to make myself better? You know, so
right.
it's you start, it's a game,
Right.
a
Right. Well, and
constant
the
game.
energy that they start to experience just from moving, if they weren't exercising before, or weren't doing, anything, and then they do start to do something, they do start to feel the reward of it, which is more energy. Oh,
Yes,
I've got more energy. So now maybe I could do something else. What else can I do?
yeah, yeah, that's for sure, no doubt, no doubt. Oh yeah, it's great. It's a great thing.
Yeah. If you were to share one piece of advice, and I know you just kind of shared, find something you love. But any other tip that you would share with let's say the midlife woman who is struggling right now, because she walks by the mirror and doesn't recognize the lady that she sees in the mirror.
Got it. So I would say, you know what? Take a deep breath. It's okay. We go through changes, you
Mhm.
know, in life. The most important thing is to just look yourself, confront yourself. We go through it. A lot of people have gone through it. A lot of other women have gone through what you're going through,
Mhm.
and just take a deep breath, and, let's get through this. Let's
Mhm.
get through this, and, do what you need to do to try to make yourself as happy, or even just try to find something that you enjoy.
Right.
Find something that you really enjoy, that brings you joy in life, so
Mhm.
that we can get out of, our heads.
Right. Yeah.
Even if it's just taking a walk. Like,
Right.
sometimes you just need to start there.
Mhm.
You know, we've got stressful days. Just go ahead and take a walk, breathe, let all that go for a little bit. And I know it's there sometimes, but sometimes when we tend to look outwards,
Mhm.
then that takes all of the stuff that goes on in our brains, it releases it a
Yeah.
little bit. Because and when you notice that when you're walking outside, you always automatically say hi to someone,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So, it's just, if we get out of our heads a little bit, find something that's going to get you out and
Hmm.
just keep you going and move forward,
Yeah.
whatever that may be.
Right. Right.
And,
That is great advice.
yes, and know that if you find me, I'm here. I'm here
Yeah.
for you, and I understand.
Yeah. And so, Dionne, where can people find you? If they want to know
Yeah.
more about you.
So you can find me on Lift It Up. Lift It Up Right is my IG handle.
Okay.
Dionnergy, DIONNEMERGY is
Okay.
my personal Instagram handle. I'm going to spend a little more time there.
Uh-huh.
You can find me on Facebook as well, Dionne Davis. Lift It Up Right on Facebook as well.
Okay.
And email Dionne, or you can just maybe find me on lift it up right at gmail.com.
Okay. Wonderful. Dan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate your time and all that you had to share.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Yes. Thank you for listening to this episode of Fit News. We will catch you next time.